What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rosie Wrestling. My name is Saif.
And I'm Masa.
And today it's another edition of Views from Rosie, and we're going to be talking about the most recent edition of Raw with our usual 3 talking points.
But this time the storylines didn't really progress in some of these segments, so we're just going to be talking about the things that actually build up to WrestleMania.
Yeah, so we're all obviously almost there. Next week's Raw is going to be the go-home show, so obviously we'll review that next week. But let's just go straight into this review. The first thing we have, our first talking point includes Miz TV, which I thought was the highlight of the night. This is, in terms of WrestleMania, there's I think 6 marquee matches. The 2 world title matches, the 2 tag team matches, the one with a mixed tag, and whatever Daniel Bryan's a part of, the women's match, and CENA Taker. But this match, I wouldn't consider it one of the marquee matches, but this is one of the matches that I'm most excited for. I think they've done so good with the build-up, and this was just another case. So what happened in this segment, we had some friction between the Miztourage and the Miz, which we later found out was a setup. But even last week, they kind of set this up. Yeah. You know, Miz started yelling at them, asking them, where were you guys the week before? Because I think they had a match that they were getting ready for. Yeah, I thought it was brilliantly done. You know, Bo Dallas said that Miz was a phony A-lister that can't fight. Curtis Axel thing, I thought, when he said, well, what happened exactly was Curtis was just kind of playing peacemaker, and then Miz was saying that he was going to become the greatest Intercontinental Championship after he breaks the record. He's going to be better than Macho Man, he's going to be better than Shawn Michaels, and he's going to be better than Mr. Perfect. And the facial expression Curtis Axel had was just perfect. No pun intended. But yeah, I thought that was brilliant. What did you think of them actually just swerving us at the end and not actually being a betrayal?
See, I actually would have been okay with a betrayal. I really like these guys, and I think that they would be really talented on their own. And, you know, Miz usually gets his victories from the Miztourage, so I would understand if at Mania he loses because he doesn't have the Miztourage, and I think it makes sense because he's probably not going to keep the belt, especially that he has a baby on the line, coming. Baby on the line.
Miz is going to defend his baby against Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. It's like Eddie and Rey Mysterio for the custody of Dominic.
But, yeah, so it would kind of make him look a little bit less weak if he didn't have them with.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I thought it was just an excuse to have the Miztourage off. But also, I just like storylines within a storyline. So it's like a sub storyline. But at the end of the day, they just swerved us. And altogether, I'm kind of 50-50 on this. I thought, you know, them swerving us makes Miz look like just an evil genius.
Right.
And, you know, he is in his spot because of how good he is and how good he is at manipulating the crowd. And he definitely got Seth and Finn, but what I don't understand is, yes, they swerved them, yes, this was a whole master plan, but Miz didn't even end up on top at the end of it. It was Seth and Finn staring each other down. That's what I didn't like about this segment. I thought it would have made more sense if Miz and the Miztourage were the ones standing tall at the end.
Right, I feel like the Miz recently hasn't been standing tall, and I really don't like that because I really don't think he's going to be the winner at WrestleMania.
Maybe that's exactly what they're setting up for. Miz to win, and then maybe to drop it the next night on Raw or something like that. Because I think he's going to be taking a few months off. Yeah. Well deservedly. I mean, he's been, for me, The Miz has been the MVP of Raw for the past few, at least the past year.
And I've said it again, I said it before, and I'm going to say it again. Miz has made the IC title more relevant than the Universal. And
I do hope he breaks the streak. I don't think he'll break it. Yeah, the record. I hope he. I don't think it'll happen this time. He'll probably have it down the line after he comes back from the whole baby situation.
But I also want to see him in the Universal title scene. I think he deserves a big title.
For me, I think he needs to be Universal Champion this year. He definitely deserves it. But let's go on to the next storyline. And this is something we talked about. I don't think, was it last week or the week before? This is one of those sub-storylines I was talking about. They don't have a singles match at WrestleMania. But Sasha and Bayley, this is one of the storylines that progressed. And what did you think of this whole promo and this whole beatdown backstage?
See, again, I think that Bayley has been getting a little bit more comfortable on the mic. I haven't really, I wasn't cringing when I would watch her, yesterday. I thought it was pretty decent that, again, it progressed because throughout the whole night, nothing really progressed with the storylines for WrestleMania. It kind of makes the Battle Royal for the women a little bit more special. That, again, there's a sub-storyline, so maybe we're going to see them completely go at each other, and maybe that's going to be their downfall at WrestleMania, but I thought it was a pretty good segment with seeing them both just like fight in the locker room. But I don't really understand like who was strong in the end. They just both fought and they broke up. Like,
yeah, I think because both of them are baby faces, they're still going to keep it like 50-50. I'm kind of 50-50 on this whole thing, really, because I honestly think that Sasha should have turned full-blown heel like a few months ago, and they would set up a WrestleMania match between the two. But here, I think it's a step in the right direction, but I feel like it needs to culminate at Mania. I think these two need to be the last ones in the ring in the Battle Royal. I think the perfect scenario would be Bayley to win and then Sasha to, attack her afterwards and go full-blown the boss heel. Because right now, if they just end up being friends again or just end up still staying face versus face after Mania, what was the whole point of this? So I'm not going to say this is good. I'm not going to say this is bad, this whole segment. But it needs to... they need to do something in the future to kind of make this make sense. So next, moving on to the last talking point. And, I wanted to talk about storylines that progress, but I feel like even though this didn't really progress anything, I feel like we kind of needed to talk about it. And it's CENA versus Kane. This was kind of a whatever match. It does make sense to have them fight, because Kane came out last year. He's kind of defending the honor of his brother. But CENA ends up winning after an attitude adjustment to Kane through a table. What do you think of CENA so far? I know Edge on his podcast has said that he doesn't like that CENA's kind of, doing, has that hokey approach. Do you agree with him? Do you think that maybe CENA's not taking this too seriously?
Again, I'm not a huge fan of this whole idea of Taker coming back. If we see Dead Man Taker, I would also kind of be upset because at least, I'm okay with Biker Taker coming again. But, if it would be my way, I wouldn't have the storyline, period.
Yeah, but it's going to happen, so might as well kind of accept it. I honestly think CENA... I do agree with Edge. CENA's kind of taking the hokey approach. He's not really taking this so seriously. You can just tell by his facial expressions. I understand the whole fan thing, which is all fine and dandy, but at the end of the day, when he has his promos with Taker, and when especially when Kane came out last week, and he said, "Oh, look, it's Undertaker's brother telling us," basically the whole promo I thought was kind of hokey. And here I thought CENA at the end, when he had his promo, a little part of me thought Taker was going to come out. That didn't happen, which is fine. But CENA also was very 50-50. Half the time he was super serious, and when CENA's serious, I feel like he does his best promos. And then half the other half was when he was saying do something, and his facials were so ridiculous.
I know, yeah. Then you can really tell where it's kind of forced, or it just didn't seem.
This didn't really do anything for me. Yeah. So overall, this Raw, I know it's been really mixed reaction. A lot of people hated this Raw, and a lot of people love this Raw. I don't really understand how people love this Raw. This was very lackluster. The whole Lesnar-Roman thing, it was kind of the same thing from last week, except I do appreciate Roman taking those sick bumps, which you got to give credit for. The Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss storyline didn't really do anything for me. Overall, really nothing to write home about. The whole Angle Rousey thing with Absolution was whatever.
The hype package was good, though.
The hype package with Triple H and Stephanie, I thought, was one of the highlights of the night. But yeah, besides Miz TV, I did not really enjoy this Raw.
I guess I'm trying to make a case for it. Maybe there was less filler. Everything makes sense with WrestleMania, but again, nothing really progressed. We don't know anything new. I kind of wish we might have gotten something with Braun Strowman, and because we still don't know his partner. But I guess this was just kind of a filler Raw.
Hopefully, the go home show will basically kind of right all the wrongs that this Raw had.
I think that's what they're going for.
But yeah, tell us what you guys thought of Raw in the comment section below.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Rosie Wrestling, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Bye!